Hi, Nathan Thornberry here with the Inspector Services Group, and it's an amazing day because I am on a Zoom, which is like, exciting, with Dave Klima of Aardvark Home Inspectors. And Dave and I go way back, and I go back a little bit further with Aardvark. It took me a little while to meet Dave, but I've been dealing with Aardvark for a long time, and I got to tell this story. So, back in 2001, we started doing our 90-day warranty product, our inspection warranty product, with my parents' inspection company, Security Home Inspections in Carmel, Indiana. At some point in the few years thereafter, we said, all right, we're going to go market this to other inspection companies. And the first company we called was Aardvark. And the only reason for that was because they were in Indiana. They had a good presence, and they were like the first one alphabetically on the list. So picked up the phone, called them, dialed them myself, and Joe Mishak picked up. And when Joe picked up, I said, well, I have this warranty product. It's working great for security home inspections here. It's protection for the client, et cetera. What do you want to do? Well, sign me up. Can you be here? Can you come by? I'm like, sure. I happen to be in Indiana. So I drove up there, saw their operation. And it's like, okay, cool. I grew up in a multi-inspector firm. I stopped by this. They got a real office. They got, a bunch of trucks outside. And I'm going, okay, this is great news. I'm going to be a billionaire because if I make one call and this is the result, this is wonderful. So anyway, have a great conversation with Joe. They launched their, our second client ever in the home inspection space. And then I hire a bunch of people to hit those phones, start talking to inspectors, get the word out about what we're doing. And then we figured out that home inspectors don't answer their phones. And so we started a call center. So Dave Klima is actually in many ways responsible for the largest home inspection call center in the industry's history, which is our inspection call center at inspectioncallcenter.com. So thank you, Dave, for giving me that really easy to manage, no stress at all, part of my business. I appreciate it.
If I was responsible for helping you start that call center, I want my royalty checks. Just send those in the mail.
Well, we should definitely talk about that at some point because most months, by the way, fun fact on the call center, most months I'm at a near zero or negative profitability on call center operations. The only reason we do it is to support inspection companies and make sure that they're answering the phone, because how much business can we do with them if they're not answering the phone, if they're not taking those orders? And that's expanded into a lot of things. But Dave and Joe and Steve and the whole team at Aardvark, they've been consistently users of all of our warranty products, and they've added, every warranty product we've come out with, gotten the maximum protection for their clients. And Dave personally talks to probably, I don't know, if I had to estimate, I'd say 200 to 300 inspectors a year on a deep level about our warranty products. And they ask you all sorts of questions, Dave. I'm sure they do, because you're so prevalent and out there and marketing these things. And you've taken over South Bend, you've taken over Fort Wayne, you're starting to inch towards Indy. And I personally have you guys down to do our pest treatments, by the way. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
So, if I'm a new inspector, if I'm or new to warranties, I've been an inspector for 5 to 10 years. What's your best advice for how to launch this stuff? I mean, because you guys have been there since the beginning. You've added these warranties as we went along. How does somebody brand new walk into it and say, all right, here's the way I start with this? What would be your recommendation to them?
So the first thing that, everyone should understand is, yes, I do get a lot of calls from home inspectors all over the country, and I share my experiences about RWS and protection with the inspection to them. And I explained to them why they should offer, warranties. And, obviously the warranties can help give the client a layer of protection if something breaks after they move in, and they can give the home inspector a layer of protection. And even that realtor, I mean, sometimes when something breaks after a client moves in, they'll call the realtor and the realtor will write a check. So the warranties help take care of all of that. And if you're going to want to offer warranties, the number one thing that you need to do is you need to go read the policies. I tell inspectors all the time, I'm like, if you're going to offer a product, you need to know how it works and explain how it works and properly set the expectations. And I know that when people sign up for warranties at RWS, they go through training with Mike Dorr and his team and Tim and all those guys. But I'll have guys that have been members of RWS or using RWS warranties for a long time, and they'll call me and I'll say, hey, explain the 5-year roof leak warranty to me. And they butcher it. They just don't know how to do it. So I help those guys with messaging. So first thing is, if you're going to offer warranties, you need to know how they work. You need to be able to set the expectations. And we actually have, those short-term warranties posted on our website. So all of our clients and referring real estate agents can go there and actually read them and understand exactly how they work. So that's the first thing. You need to understand the warranties. And then the second thing is, you obviously have to have the marketing materials. Well, obviously, that's really easy because ISG RWS has a marketing department that's going to customize anything and everything that you need. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the ideas that I've come up with over the years, they use those ideas as templates for other home inspectors. So anyway, that would be the next thing. And then after that, you need to go out and you need to market to, the real estate community and explain how the warranties work and use those warranties to pick up referring real estate agents. And, if we have time, I'd love to maybe pretend, Nathan, if you're a realtor and we do a little bit of role play and I can kind of give my pitch about the warranties to everyone so they can hear it. Normally I give this pitch to, a couple hundred home inspectors a month. And so it's kind of nice that you called me to do this video recording. And now I can just, refer people to this if I can do the pitch.
Well, let's do that, but let's do it just in a slightly different manner. Because, Aardvark Home Inspectors is, a powerhouse in Northern Indiana. I mean, no offense here, but you guys are like the security home inspections of Northern Indiana. like seriously, I mean that as a huge compliment. Like Preston Sandlin, I consider him the home inspection Carolina to be the security home inspections of Charlotte. He has that reputation. He's like the Phil and Patty there, and I think you guys have done that in all of your markets as well. So rather than just the warranty part of the pitch, treat me like a real estate agent that has never used Aardvark home inspectors before and tell me why I need to switch to Aardvark. I mean, maybe that message includes warranties, but
yeah, it really does. And so, if you're a realtor and I'm meeting you for the first time, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say, hey, Nathan, obviously, you have different real estate agents or you have different home inspectors that you use that are on your list and you have your favorites and, we're not on your list and I'd love to get some of your business. So let's talk a little bit about Aardvark and what we bring to the table and see if I can't, convince you to give me a try. Right. So that's kind of where we're going with this. And then when you get, to the meeting with them, maybe it's a lunch meeting or a coffee meeting or whatever, you want to sit down with them and you really want to talk to them more about being their best extended business partner in a RESPA compliant way than, just selling yourself, on your business. I mean, let's think about this. When we go and talk to real estate agents, never in the history of doing a presentation are we going to say, I'm just kind of like an average home inspector, a bottom of the barrel kind of person. And, I'm going to freak your client out and kill your deals. Right. We never say that. We all say the same thing. Hey, I'm the best home inspector in the world. I'm not going to freak your client out. I'm not going to kill your deals. Well, they've heard that a million times. So you have to sound different. You have to sound unique. Right. Does that make sense? Sure. So let's say I'm meeting with you and I say, to you, I'm like, Nathan, let me explain to you why you should really, send business to me. It's because I want to be your best extended business partner and I want to help you grow your business. And that starts with creating great real estate experiences for our clients. So let's just assume you had your favorite home inspector go out and do a home inspection for the client. And he goes out there and he goes above and beyond the SOPs, and he runs all the sinks and all the toilets, and runs the dishwasher a whole cycle, runs a washing machine a whole cycle. Everything is draining great while he's there, right? And the client is really happy that he went above and beyond the SOPs and leaves him a 5-star review. You go to the closing table, you think everything is great, and the client closes on the house. They move in the house, they live there for an entire month and never have a problem. All of a sudden on day 31, they got gray water backing up in their house, and it's a result of a broken sewer line. So who's that person going to call, Nathan? They're going to call you, the real estate agent. They're the first person that's going to get called. Why? I don't know. You didn't do the home inspection, but they're calling you. And you're going to naturally say, well, I didn't do the home inspection. Why don't you call my home inspector? He's a great guy. So now the client's going to call the home inspector, and the home inspector is going to say, you know what, I'm really sorry you're having this problem. I did a really good job when I was there, went above and beyond the SOPs. You even left me a 5-star review. I can't see into the ground to tell you have a broken sewer line, and I can't predict the future. So there's nothing I can do for you. This is not my fault. Now, let me ask you, Nathan, is he right to say that? Absolutely, 100% right. It's not his fault. He did a great job. He can't see into the ground. He can't predict the future. But Nathan, does that lead to a great real estate experience for the client? No, it doesn't. Now, let's say you give me a try. Same scenario. We go out, we do a great job, go above and beyond the SOPs. Everything's draining great when we're there. Client moves in. 31 days later, they got gray water backing up in the house, and they call me. And I'm going to tell them, hey, you know what? I'm really sorry that you're having this problem. We did a great job for you. Obviously, I can't see into the ground and I can't predict the future, so it's not my fault. However, I did pay a fee to give you sewer line protection. Here's how you file a claim. You're going to have a couple $1,000s to help get that fixed.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you something,
and
Nathan.
by the way, your clients do that not infrequently. Okay.
Right.
Just at one of your locations, I was kind of, poking around my system, just at one of the Aardvark locations alone, just Fort Wayne. And because you have a bunch of different accounts for all your different offices. So I just pulled Fort Wayne, and in the last just under 5 years, which is what we keep in our active system that we can, see at all times, we have about $200,000 worth of claims just there. And that's just hard claim costs. That does not include free recall repairs. It does not include reduction in cost to the client because they were being estimated some, gargantuan amount by a contractor that was unscrupulous. And, you have guys like Don on Elm Street. I'll let you look that up later, who, they moved in and they had exactly this. So you can come with these stories and say, we have clients all the time that stuff happens. It was perfectly fine on the day of inspection.
Right.
And
right. So anyway, back to the question, that I would ask the real estate agent is, now in that scenario, what created a better real estate experience for the client, using your favorite inspector or giving me a shot? Right. Exactly. So now you give me a shot and say, and that's what, building sales is all about. It's about creating great real estate experiences. And if you're referring to me, I promise you that I'm going to be there for the client after the inspection. And if we're working together, you need to be there for that client after the closing table, because honestly, their experience does not start until they move into the house. That's when their real estate experience really starts. And we want them to tell all their friends and family members and coworkers about us, right? So with this scenario, you have two choices: your favorite inspector, it doesn't end very well, and now that negative story is all over Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Or you use me and we have a happy conclusion, and now it's a different story all over social media, right? So that's kind of where we go with that.
Complex to bring this up to real estate agents, but as just over half a year ago, we launched the biggest launch of all time in errors and omissions, general liability, professional liability insurance in the home inspection space. And we launched with a limit that's 3 times any other policy that is regularly marketed. And in all of those months, because the prerequisite to this insurance plan is that you operate like Aardvark Home Inspectors does, that you protect your clients, that you offer warranties with your inspectors. because of those terms and conditions, we have not to date charged a single deductible. In other words, we have not paid out on a single claim in 7 months. That is embarrassing to anybody that competes with us that is out there, saying to inspectors they need to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars for E&O, because reality is when a business owner like you and a warranty product like ours, and the way you've seen us make exceptions on coverage and in tight situations, or when there was a misunderstanding or whatever, we just get together and take care of the client, and they're good. You take care of the issue, you pay for it. These
Right.
are, it's amazing to me how many people in our industry talk about, representing the client, being there for the client, and they talk a big game about delivering, but then at the end of the day, they don't deliver it at all by comparison to you guys. So,
Well, people spend a lot of money to get into a house, and especially right now in a seller's market, they're overpaying for houses. And sometimes, it's terrible. They're waiving inspections. That's a different topic. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If someone spent a whole bunch of money, getting into a house, and all of a sudden they move in and their dishwasher breaks or their water heater starts leaking or whatever the, case is, if something breaks after the fact, it's a miserable experience for them because they just spent all their money. So by having the warranties, available, it helps tremendously. People just don't understand it. And, we talked about communicating, and so we just had a claim. I want to share this story. We had a claim about 2.5 weeks ago. A lady had a roof leak claim, and we did the inspection, I don't know, almost 3 years ago, right? So with every home inspection, the client gets a 5-year roof leak warranty. So you have to explain all of these to the clients and to the realtors so they're not upset with the $500 deductible. So I want to go through that spiel with you real quick. So I always tell people, hey, with Aardvark, you get a 5-year roof leak warranty. Now, this roof leak warranty is really designed to give you major roof leak coverage. So you have $3,000 worth of coverage, but you have a $500 deductible, kind of like car insurance. So if you have a small leak around a roof boot, it's $100 repair, it's not going to help you, but $100 isn't going to kill you. But if you have a valley that's leaking and now you got to rip off all the shingles and put new ice and water shield down, put new shingles on, new flashing, whatever the case may be, and it's a $3,500 repair, well, the warranty company is going to pay, $3,000, you only pay $500. So it's going to help you a lot.
yeah.
So by explaining it that way, they understand like, hey, this free policy, and yeah, I do have a $500 deductible. I know about it. So they're not blindsided at the last minute when they don't get anything for a $200 repair, but they're really happy if they have a major roof leak and they only have to pay $500. And the claim that we just had recently, I think it was, I don't know, $2,200 claim. And, the client got a bunch of money from you guys, and it helped soften the blow. So she was really happy. Think about that. I did a home inspection almost 3 years ago, and this lady, this client, is getting a $1,700 check from RWS. I mean, how cool is that?
I believe you're talking about Melissa. Am I wrong?
Possibly. Yeah. I don't remember her name,
Right.
but
Yeah, Melissa had a couple of different leaks, and originally the bids had come in, and this is a big thing you need to know about warranties. Originally, the bids came in at like $3,600 for Melissa, and the warranty process of, okay, stop, you have coverage over here, you need to call, submit an invoice for approval, that gives us a chance to review it and go, okay, what's the contractor doing, what's really needed, is this pricing in line, out of line, should we be suggesting to the client that they get other estimates? And you're exactly right. At the end of the day, we brought that down by $1,000, and then net of deductible, we end up at $1,200 claim 3 years after the inspection. and where would she have been if she had an inspection with anybody else? So
she wouldn't have got anything. She wouldn't have got any help. She would end up paying a $3,300 bill to some contractor who was trying to get over on her. And you helped find a contractor to do it much cheaper, which obviously helped you guys too, right?
Yep.
But it helped her tremendously. So that, this protection with the inspection works. And it just kills me that guys in our industry say it doesn't work, because I know it works. And it kills me that they say, home inspectors that use warranties aren't good home inspectors. Well, that's not true. Just because you use warranties doesn't mean you're a bad home inspector. You
Yeah,
can be the best
that's
home
a
inspector in
really
the world.
crazy thing that they've ever said. It's like, what's better, a product or service with a warranty or without? It's like, duh, common sense. Let me go to something real quick, because you said a couple of things that I think that every inspector should know about in their pitch, because this is what's important to real estate agents, and you've only spent decades talking to them. So when you said, um, "Hey, we're not on your list, but we'd love to see you give us a try," uh, that statement has two important aspects to it, to me, as someone who's been a licensed real estate agent, who's been in the home inspection business all my life. I mean, like, literally, the Aardvark of Indianapolis started in my living room when I was 3. So that's a punishment no one should have to endure. But when you say this, it's an acknowledgement of the list, because many agents, like it or not, right or wrong, tend to give out a list, and it tends to be 2 to 4 inspection companies. They're a whole nother topic for another day. But when you say we're not on your list, it's an acknowledgement of that. It's very honest, and I love the way that you put that. And then you said, would love to see you give us a try. Well, the real estate agent, they're a salesperson too. Like we're all in sales to some extent for our businesses. And for you to say that in that way, you did a couple of things. You kind of pulled on their heartstrings as a fellow entrepreneur, but at the same time, you asked for the business, and so many people don't do that. So I hope everybody that's watching this, that's having trouble figuring out, how do I talk to real estate agents? What do I say? It's not just about all of the protections you add. Those are great. I mean, it's not a coincidence that over 80% of the top 20% of this industry utilizes these things, and many of them weren't in that top 20% before they started. So statistically, anybody who says they don't work is wrong. But it's also about making sure you have a message that works. And there was a second thing you said, and you said, we want to be a RESPA compliant, great partner. And I want to take a moment to kind of clarify what you mean by that in my words, and you can tell me if you agree. But if I was sitting with a real estate agent, you say RESPA compliance, that's a trigger word for them, because they have to deal with that every single day. They have to make sure that they're operating their business correctly. And then you say, look, we have great things that help your client, help your transaction, lead to more referrals, and they're all benefits to the client. They're all benefits that go to the client. But do they result in your business improving? Sure. But since the benefits go to the client, they're all RESPA compliant. I'm not here to offer you a referral fee or give you more candy than the next guy, or give you a free vacation or any of this stuff. It's really about that client. It's about that future referral, and we can do things in a RESPA compliant way, and create those great experiences.
So
So
let's talk about that. So, one of the mantras, a lot of people watching this video see the inspected houses thing behind me, and it's, a platform that I co-founded. And really, that platform is a way for us to, be an extended business partner to the real estate agent in a RESPA compliant way, in a home inspector law compliant way. And so with this platform, I always tell agents, I'm like, listen, you know what? As a home inspector, we're always asking you for business. We're asking you for referrals so we can feed our family and pay our bills. But what are we able to do for you? We haven't really been able to do anything to help you grow your business. Well, with the inspectedhouses.com system, we can help you market all of your listings. We can capture leads. We can drive leads to the listing, and we can drive leads to your own website. And it works really well with pre-listing home inspections. Let me show you how it works. So then I have them text demo to this lead capture number. I show them how it works. I explain the system to them. And I explain that when the leads come in, they come in from the inspected houses system and they go to the realtor. They come in from the inspected houses system and they go to the home inspector. The home inspector is not getting the leads and forwarding it to the real estate agent. So the home inspector is not giving anything of value to the real estate agent. But what's great about it is, in a way, it's kind of like co-marketing, but in a way, we're helping them grow their business because we're helping them get leads to work with. And when those leads turn into listings or sales, it's growing their business. Now, obviously, I get those leads as a home inspector, so I can market my business to that potential buyer directly. Is really awesome. And then what made this program even more amazing is we use it for pre-listing home inspections. And, a lot of people are calling the platform Carfax for houses. And, it's kind of a good analogy. But here's what's really cool. When you do a pre-listing home inspection, the fear as a home inspector is some other inspector's going to come behind you and find something that you missed and make you look bad. And listen, guys, it's true. You could get another home inspector come behind you and find something, and it shouldn't be anything major. It should be small stuff. But let's just assume they found mold in an attic. Okay. Let's just assume your inspector went out and did not notate mold in the attic. Another inspector came along and found mold in the attic. Well, guess what? If you're offering the RWS warranties, you can simply say, hey, look, I didn't really see that when I was there. Maybe it wasn't there. Maybe it grew after the fact. It doesn't matter because you're covered. Here's how you file a claim to get that mold taken care of. It's actually better for you, the client, to file a claim and pay a small deductible versus paying the whole thing had I found it up front. So you go from a zero to a hero, just like that, by having this warranty protection. Here's the other thing. Nathan Thornberry, agreed to offer mortgage payment protection on any home that was pre-inspected and loaded to the inspectedhouses.com system. So this is what's so cool. You go out, you do a home inspection. All right. And you think you did a great job or whatever. The buyer comes along with their inspector and finds something that kills the deal or delays the closing. Guess what? The seller's going to be mad, right? The real estate agents can be mad, right? But when you go to them and say, hey, you know what? I'm really sorry that wasn't in my report. We're going to make the seller's mortgage payments up to $5,000 a month for the next 3 months.
So, obvious.
That is so amazing. Hold on, Nathan. When I tell real estate agents that, when I tell them that, hey, with my pre-listing home inspection program, not only are we going to do the pre-listing inspection, but I'm going to help you market the house and get leads. And on top of that, the seller gets free warranty protection and the seller gets mortgage payment protection. So if another inspector finds something that kills the deal or delays the closing, the seller is going to get their mortgage payment made up to $5,000 a month for 3 months. They are freaking blown away. It's amazing.
And let's summarize all of that as pretty awesome system, right? I mean, it works, it's functional, it has all these text alerts and the ways that somebody can find a property and become part of the funnel right to that real estate agent. All good things,
ongoing and automated.
Let's weigh all
marketing.
Of that. Let's weigh all of that because there's a ton of features against. Well, what's the price per month again? How much do you charge for that thing?
Only $49 a month.
Okay, all right, $49. So yeah, that's a really tough decision to make. Let me go back to something else because one of the reasons we wanted to do this video was to make it so an inspector who calls you and says, I want to be like Dave. I want to have a giant team, or maybe I don't. I just want to have a well-run business, good profit margins. I want to be the leader in my market. And here's all the things that you do to do that. And one of those things is, of course, the warranties and protections. Let's just talk functionally for a second. Is it hard to submit the client info to register them for those warranties?
No, how do you do it? Absolutely not. It's so easy. It's just, we use ISN and you have Next Inspect, of course, that has that feature. And, once all of that data entry goes in, to ISN or Next Inspect, it's automatically transferring over. So we don't have to do any extra steps. It's a beautiful thing.
So all automated, doesn't take much effort. At the end of the month, you're getting a bill. It's not breaking the bank. because otherwise, you wouldn't pay it for a decade and a half, I assume.
So here, so listen, everyone listening to this, you think the warranties are going to cost you money, but they're not. They're going to help you pick up referring agents, right? They're going to help you with maybe some costs. Like if something breaks after the inspection, instead of you stroking a check, RWS strokes a check. Plus, the minute that you sign up for warranties and you have to pay an extra 20 bucks an inspection or whatever it is, your pricing should go up $50. So you should be raising your prices 50 bucks if you're offering protection with the inspection. So you're actually making more money offering the warranties if you do it right.
I think 90% of our clients are in that category, by the way. I think very few, forget to do that, forget to adjust their prices based on their overhead. And how easy is it to justify to a client that, hey, you're getting 5 years of roof leak protection and it costs an extra 50 bucks. Like
So
that's
I
so
almost
easy.
think we should do it different in a way. And I had thought about, this is just an idea I'm throwing out to you, but I mean, ask your clients when they're on the phone, just say, hey, you know what, for an extra $25, would you like, well, you have next, you have the structural warranty, you say it's 100 grand in protection. So you could say, hey, for an extra 25 or $50 even, just ask people, hey, for an extra $25, would you like $100,000 in free warranty protection? It's 90 days of sewer line protection, 90 days of mold protection, 90 days of, home warranty protection. You have a 1-year structural warranty and a 5-year roof leak warranty. Would you like that for $25? What the hell do you think they're going to say? They're going to say yes. They'd be stupid not to.
$25 is virtually, $0. I mean, in the context of a real estate transaction, it's pretty light. Well, so let me ask you another thing, because we're having a three-way conversation here. There's an inspector in the room that might be considering joining up and doing what Dave does. So as a best practice, because there's many ways to do this. We have automated ways through our system. You can make all these selections. There's like 1,000 fields that you can customize and do it your way. But if you were recommending to an inspector, okay, here's how you actually deliver the warranty document to a client after or before inspection, how do you do it?
Well, so we have, the marketing flyers that, man, let me see if I have one. Hold on just
It's all right. I got
hold on.
right here. Let's see.
All right.
I have lots of them.
Okay, so at Aardvark, let me show you this. We have a folder that our inspectors take with them to the home inspection. And then inside the folders, there's different, things that we have. One of them is this really cool measurement sheet. And I got to give credit where credit is due. Troy Pappas originally came up with this. And it's an awesome product, right? So we have those made up. We also have our little brochure that we, give them, and people are like, why are you giving them a brochure? You already got their business. I'm like, are you shitting me? They have friends and family members and coworkers that we tell them, hey, hand out this brochure to your friends or family members, right?
And by the way,
and inside there
is the brochure,
right? And inside there are all the warranties, right? They're all in there, right? And then not only that, we explain to the client, we have this concierge sheet right here, right? Mm-hmm. And we explain to the client, hey, you know what, with Aardvark, you get way more than, an inspection. You get some warranty protection. We show them this warranty sheet. We say, oh, by the way, you're going to get a phone call from the warranty company, and, they're going to let you know about their concierge service, where they can help you set up your phone, your cable, your alarm, your dish network, all that kind of stuff. And you'll be registered, for the warranties that way, and you'll have their contact info if you ever need to get back with them. Now, if you lose all of this stuff, wait, hold on. And if you lose all this stuff, it's all on our website.
Right. Well, and so you're putting it out there in multiple ways, which, by the way, has resulted in your claims rate being very close to around 3.2%, around 3.2 out of every 100 clients that get an inspection from Aardvark end up with a claim of some sort. So our standard here at our company, and I get this question quite a bit, is, how many claims should I expect that I would have? We like to see between 2 and 3.5%. If you're under 2 it means you're not doing a good job. You're not doing as good a job as Dave of sending it out via email, having it on your website, and handing it to them in person at the inspection. You want them to know that they have this covered. So when they have a problem, they make a claim, have a good experience, and Aardvark becomes, or your company becomes part of the standard operating practice at your local real estate brokerages. So that's what you need to do. If you're way over 3.5%, then we start looking at it and going, okay, why? Well, what's going on here? And it's been very few times, but we have an excellent quality control system, the only quality control system really in the home inspection industry, where we go, okay, this guy's getting too many electrical claims, and some of these are misses. Like he doesn't know something about this, and we can go and suggest some training on a specific topic, which we've only had to do a few times in our
Right.
2 decades doing this, because inspectors are generally pretty good at being knowledgeable. So if you think, oh, I'm an inspector with a lot of knowledge, I deserve a lot of business. Well, you're not alone. The other 30,000 inspectors have a pretty decent amount of knowledge too. It's about how
Right.
you carry yourself and how you run your business that matters the most.
Right.
So
And here's the thing that people need to understand too is, the warranty protection goes based on what's in the report. And so if you say, for example, mold, okay, we all know mold doesn't grow overnight, right? Sometimes it takes, a while. And so here's a perfect analogy for all of you who are considering whether you should, get the mold protection or not. Let's assume you go and do an inspection and you walk down in the basement and it's just full of crap everywhere. Entertainment centers, couches, boxes, stored items, all of that. And your inspection is really limited. Okay. And you don't notate any type of mold, no visible signs of mold. Okay. So there moves out, the buyer closes on the house, they move in, they walk down in their basement, and all of a sudden there's mold all over the wall. Right? Who are they going to call? They're going to call the agent, just like before, freaking out. Agent's going to refer them to you. And what are you going to say? If you're not offering warranties, you're going to say, hey, look, I'm really sorry you got that condition, but my inspection was really limited. Look at all the pictures that are in the report. It's not my fault. And yeah, you're right to say that, but it's not going to lead to a great experience for the client. And you're going to have a pissed off realtor who might not refer to you anymore. Okay.
so
But in
here's
my
the thing.
scenario,
I want
hold on. But in my scenario, they call me up and I'm like, I'm really sorry about that. Obviously, we couldn't inspect it. We don't move furniture. We don't move entertainment centers, but we did provide you with some mold protection through RWS. Here's how you file a claim and get that taken care of.
All right. So here's the thing. I'm gonna have to invite you back, and we're gonna have to do, an episode 2, and maybe an episode 3 and 4, because I feel like we can go and talk about a bunch of things in this industry. It's been good so far, and this is not the last episode of this.
Actually, you know what I think you should do? I think you should have me come down to Carmel once in a while and do some coaching for any of your newer inspectors or inspectors that have been, in your system for a long time. I'd be happy to share ideas and thoughts. And
Well, we might be talking about that. We have, of course, our top meeting later next week. Of course, if you're watching this as a YouTube video, we have a top meeting 2 years ago. I'm talking to future you, whoever that might be, So anyway, let's do this. Let's cut this one short. But I think the summary is, hey, build warranties into your message. Do it in a wonderful way. You're going to be dominant in your marketplace. I mean, there's nobody that holds a candle to Aardvark in your markets at all. I mean, like I think your next biggest competitor is probably 1/5, if not 1/7 your size. So you're doing pretty good.
it's all about creating great experiences for the client. If you do that, everything else will take care of itself.
I agree. So we're going to stop it there. We're going to bring you back, and we're going to bring you back soon. Dave Klima with Aardvark. He's been coaching and consulting, for free, basically, for hundreds and hundreds of inspectors over the last few years, particularly. And if you're looking for a guy to reach out to that has a ton of knowledge and has been at it for decades and has run the big companies, run a small company and grew it to big company,
And
it's the guy
ancillary
you want to talk to.
companies. Yeah, radon stuff, pest control stuff. We do it all.
Oh yeah. Well, another thing that makes you the Phil and Patty of Northern Indiana. because
Well, they could be the Aardvark of Southern Indiana. We
or
could
the
look at it
Aardvark
that way.
of Indianapolis. Right?
Listen, I got a lot of respect for Phil and Patty. They are awesome people, and you're blessed to have great parents like them. I'm just telling you that right now.
Well, it's just interesting, and I appreciate that. But it's just interesting that the leaders in the market, the ones that seek to protect their clients the best, the ones that always have a better service, a better product than the next guy, are also like two of the first inspection companies in the state of Indiana. Not to do this because somebody told them it was a good idea, not to do this because it was in a book or because it was taught by somebody, but two of the first in the state of Indiana to go and get their pest control licenses.
Mhm.
Wow. You guys
We
were on
actually
the same path, and
so
radon too at the
r-
same time. I think you guys went and
let,
got that done.
let me ask you a quick question before we go. What's the biggest home inspection company in the country?
So
Elite Group,
there's
probably.
a couple of qualifiers for that. Okay. So biggest by number of inspections, total revenue, number of inspectors.
Well, okay.
And let me give you another qualifier, because I get this question a lot. Are we talking about size per location? Are we talking about size per owner partner?
Right.
Because to me, if you're and Elite Group is a great client, Southern California, and they do a ton of business. That is not a single owner company. So if you divide their company by the number of owners, is there somebody else out there that
Well,
is doing pretty good
yeah, but
by
no,
comparison?
yeah. So let's set ownership aside and let's just look at size of companies. Elite Group's probably one of the, if not the biggest, independent, right, owned company, not like a U.S. Inspector or something like that. But and they offer warranties, right?
US
They
Inspect has been rolling back in a big
but
way.
Elite
In
Group
fact,
offers.
by the way, US
You're
Inspect,
killing my point here.
they just like, I know, but I'm just saying, like they have a good presence in a lot of places because they did all the relocation stuff, and technically they have a single location, for their office. But they've gone through some ownership changes. We'll see what the future is like for them. To let you get to your point, Elite Group is definitely a powerhouse, and probably the biggest single location inspection company there in Southern California.
Well, the whole point is, and I'll fast track it, is I've gone to some conferences and different coaching groups or whatever, and I've gotten to meet some of the biggest home inspection companies in the country, and it seems like a lot of them have the same thing in common. They always offer protection, with the inspection, like Preston in North Carolina has a huge company, protection with the inspection, Elite Group, Aardvark, security. I mean, I could go on and on. You got guys like Wally Conway using it, and Sean Rossbach, who's killing it in Florida. And again, there's probably big companies out there that don't offer warranties, but if I had to bet my house on something, I'm going to say more bigger companies offer warranties than don't.
It's about 80%. And Sean, okay, Sean, this guy, this twerp.
In Lemoyne
And
in Georgia.
Lemoyne's killing it. They're in multiple markets now.
Right.
Sean just opened in Texas. He's up to 24 inspectors in the state of Texas.
Right.
Like, wow, that was quick. So anyway, there are some extremely big success stories, but there's also just whatever level you're going to play on, whatever level you want to play on, there's doing things right by the client, and there's delivering and delivering a great experience and taking care of people. And Dave Klima and Aardvark have done a great job of that for a decade and a half. We'll see you next time on episode 2 with me and Dave. We're going to get into stuff that's going to blow your mind. See ya.